Picture this scene. You've seen a job you love and it's perfect. So you lock in, make a tea, slave over your CV and application, click submit, and rejected. Again. Or even worse, ghosted. Sound familiar? In London, 1 in 4 people aged 16 to 24 are out of work. That's 25%. It's a big stat, and I want to understand what's actually going on.
From BBC News, I'm Lily May.
Over the past year, since May 2025, I've applied to over 500 jobs and I've been rejected from all of them. I know 500 does sound like a dramatic number, but unfortunately it is the reality that I've faced.
Meet Theo. We reached out to him after he appeared in multiple articles across the media, talking about his struggles finding work. Hundreds of applications, no jobs.
Let's be real, finding a job is hard, but right now in 2026, it's proving especially difficult for young people.
Theo's experience isn't out of the ordinary. The UK's rate for unemployment for 16 to 24-year-olds is around 15%, but London is higher, a lot higher.
So yeah, according to the latest data, the current rate of youth unemployment in London is at about 25%.
That does feel strange because when I think of London, I think busy and bustling, a place where there's loads of jobs. By the way, that's Jonathan. He works at the BBC England data unit and rather helpfully has done a deep dive into the numbers.
What's really interesting to me and concerning in this data is the vacancy rate. So how many unfilled jobs are currently being advertised. In the most recent data, it's at about 700,000, which is down. It's been going down and it's actually reached its lowest level since early 2021. Why that matters is because at the same time we've got more young people looking for a job, it looks like those jobs are getting harder to find. And it's in particularly the drops have been in industries you often associate with people's first job. So things like the arts and entertainments and recreation, or in accommodation or food area businesses. So those traditional sort of first jobs for people seem to be getting rarer to find. So I think it's really important to remember that this data is only looking at people who are economically active. Now that's a bit of jargon, so what does it mean? That's meaning people who either have a job or want a job. It's not actually including the economically inactive, which are people who, for whatever reason, aren't looking for a job or don't have a job right now. So people who just aren't being factored into the job market. So when we're talking about 25%, we're actually only talking about people who either want a job or have a job.
This is a really important caveat. All of this data comes from the Office for National Statistics.
In real terms, what this data means is that of the people who want to have a job, 1 in 4 don't. So 1 in 4 young people in London who want a job don't have one. The rate of youth unemployment is so important because it can impact what that person's long-term economic future is. There's this term that gets chucked around, vocational scarring, which is the idea of the knock-on effect. So if you don't get that job, when you're straight out of university or when you finish an apprenticeship, then because you didn't get that job straight away, when you eventually do get one, you're going to get it later, you're going to get that promotion later, you're going to get your progression throughout your career later. And there's been studies which have been done which suggest that there are these long-term impacts are felt throughout somebody's career.
Right. Remember Theo? He was applying for hundreds of roles with no success, and it was taking a toll.
The rejection count stopped at 500, partly because I stopped counting. The thing is as well that the 500 number kind of understates the actual effort that went into all of this. It doesn't include the LinkedIn outreach, the networking, walking into businesses and handing in my CV. It's just tracking formal applications through job portals. And I want to be honest that I wasn't throwing one generic CV at 500 companies. I was tailoring CVs, I was changing cover letters, I was editing the order of the skills that I put on my CV to be tailored to job descriptions. I was putting in a lot of effort for each application, and what was I getting back? Realistically, not the same effort. There is a specific kind of demoralization that comes with doing everything right and still not seeing results. I had a good degree, good skills, good work ethic, and it still wasn't straightforward.
Honestly, I get it. And Theo isn't alone. I'm seeing it in my own circle of friends at the moment. So, what's making it so hard for young people to find a job in London? To find out more, I sent over questions to Megan Owen, BBC London's work and money correspondent.
I think quite simply, events have conspired. You still have the legacy of COVID, when a lot of these young people were meant to be getting work experience. They were isolated, having to stay indoors. And we're hearing from charities saying that many young people's confidence was damaged during the pandemic, and some of them still haven't managed to get that back. Secondly, traditional businesses that normally employ younger people at the beginning of their career, like retail and hospitality businesses, are struggling for a number of reasons. You know, you've got national minimum wage has gone up, and you've also seen a rise in national insurance contributions. So they are less likely at the moment to employ young people. Thirdly, you've got AI creeping into the world of work, making it difficult for a variety of reasons. I think a lot of young people are finding that it's difficult for their job applications to stand out because people are using AI to write them, but also AI is meaning that those entry-level roles are being replaced. So people are finding it difficult to kind of get into the world of work in the first place. London is often the canary in the coal mine when it comes to kind of economic and social shifts and patterns. So what we could be seeing here is the first signs of a really struggling labour market, and charities and organisations have told us that they're afraid that this could be the beginning of kind of a wider ripple effect across the country. I've been really struck by the relentless optimism and perseverance of the young people I've spoken to. They are tech savvy, they are open-minded, and most of all, they are determined not to be beaten by a gloomy job market.
Megan highlights that despite everything working against them, young people are still pushing forward. Youth Employment UK, a not-for-profit that helps young people find work, say building resilience in this tough job market is going to be the key to surviving it. This is hard. Being ghosted by companies, throwing your CV into the void, and constantly questioning your own worth. 25% is still a bleak stat, but for Theo, all that hard work finally paid off.
After just about a year of searching, and the day before my birthday, I was offered a role as a data and AI analyst at a multinational firm. And the thing is, relief isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a celebration. I thought I'd feel ecstatic. It felt more like exhaling, if I'm honest. I was holding my breath for about 12 months and someone finally said that I could stop. What made this different is that this was not a portal application. I didn't find this role on a job board. They found me because I had been visible. Networking, LinkedIn, media coverage, all of that created a version of myself beyond the 2-page CV, filtered by an algorithm. And they didn't hire keywords, they hired a human, a real person who they could see. And that confirms exactly what I was suspecting, which is that the bottleneck wasn't my ability, it was the system's ability to see me. After a year of being told that I wasn't needed, being in a room where people are genuinely glad I'm there, I'm not going to take it for granted. And if I were to leave you with one final thought, it would be that I got through the hardest year of my professional life by refusing to let the market define me. The answer was always going to be a no until it was a yes. My only job was to make sure I was still standing when the yes finally arrived.
I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Tell me what you think. For now, thanks for watching.